Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. Today we're going to talk about how to sideboard against the top 10 most popular decks in Pioneer with Dimir Aggro. Now, if you want an analysis of this deck, the card choices, all of that stuff, I already did that in Deck Tech on this channel. You should definitely check that out. Today we're just going to focus on sideboarding. Let's jump into it. So this is the Dimir Aggro deck. As far as the sideboard goes, we're playing Spell Pierce for these non-creature spells that may be problematic. Disdainful Stroke against big mana decks. Cut Down for aggressive decks. Anoint with Affliction, we're mostly playing mostly against the aggressive decks, but it has some other applications, being able to exile a card with mana value 3 or less. We're playing Dokuchi Silence, sir, I can't say it with a straight face. Creature Destruction on a stick, allowing us to destroy creatures or planeswalkers. We're playing a Biting Palm Ninja that allows us to attack our opponent's hand while also dealing a bunch of damage. Extinction Event as a board wipe of choice. Leyline of the Void as Graveyard Hate, and then Shieldred to punish decks for drawing a lot of cards, but also as a super decent blocker. And the most popular deck in Pioneer is Rakdos Midrange. Against Rakdos Midrange, I actually like Spell Pierce a lot. Being able to pick off a Fable or an Unholy Annex, both just very, very powerful things to do. And we sort of have to rely on Rakdos Midrange being able to stop us from doing our thing. So I like Shieldred just to be able to apply more pressure and have more threats. I actually think a lot of this game is like sort of a mid-range mirror. And so I like taking out the Thoughtseizes, and while turn 1 Thoughtseize is totally fine, most of these matchups are going to go very, very long. And so a top deck Thoughtseize can be game breaking and awful for us, where a turn 1 Thoughtseize is really going to win us the game. So that's how I sideboard against Rakdos Midrange. The second most popular deck is Gruul Aggro, and we're actually also going to be sideboarding the same against Mono Red Aggro. Against the Gruul Aggro deck, bringing in Cut Down, we're bringing in Anoint with Affliction, Gochuchi Silencer, and I like Shieldred both as a blocker and additional ways to gain life. We really can't let them out aggro us, and so we really have to take out the Thoughtseize. I'm not a big fan of Spell Pierce, like reactive stuff like that, where my opponent has to do something really specific in order for me to do a spell is just awful. And I like taking out Enduring Curiosity. That's not about drawing cards. It is about stopping their aggro. And so this is how I sideboard against Gruul Aggro and Mono Red. The third most popular deck in Pioneer is It Phoenix? I like Spell Pierce because if we can pick off one of their important spells like Treasure Cruise or Artist Talent, it can be really backbreaking for them. Like Leyline of the Void, because it stops them from doing their crazy combo, turns off Treasure Cruise, all of that stuff. And then they draw so many cards that Shieldred is pretty good against them, even though they can answer it pretty cleanly with Lightning Axe. We are going to be taking out Fatal Push because it doesn't really kill anything that's relevant in our opponent's deck. I'm not a giant fan of Spyglass Siren, and I'm a shave on a Thousand Face Shadow. These are just flex slots. It's kind of hard to make Thousand Face Shadow good when they have so many removal spells, and so this is how I'm going to sideboard against It Phoenix. The fourth most popular deck in Pioneer is Nykthos Ramp, Mono Green Devotion, whatever you want to call it. Against this deck, we're bringing in Disdainful Stroke. I also like Cut Down so we can, on turn 1, be able to deal with their mana dorks. My camera turned off or whatever. Extinction Event wipes their entire board. It's amazing. Shieldred is actually really good against them because they need to draw a lot of cards to combo, so they need to answer the Shieldred before they can combo, which is hilarious. I like Dokuchi Silencer, being able to pick off those creatures, especially those mana dorks really early in the game is funny, as well as Biting Palm Ninja, being able to tear apart their hand. That being said, bringing out Spell Pierce is most of the time when they cast non-creature spells that are relevant. They already have a ton of mana, so it doesn't really matter. It's not about drawing cards, so I'm not a fan of Enduring Curiosity. Also, another big reason why, Spyglass Siren is only fine. And 3 mana is a lot for a card that's meant to go a little long that is only a little aggressive, so I like shaving on Kaido as well. And so this is how I'm going to sideboard against Nykthos Ramp. The fourth most popular deck is Azorius Control. Against Azorius Control, we're bringing in the Spell Pierces, because they have mostly non-creature spells, Disdainful Stroke, because the things that we're really afraid of are big mana. Biting Palm Ninja to help tear apart their hand, and then Shieldred's good just as additional threats, because we have to take out a whole bunch of stuff. Fatal Push is just god-awful, go for the throat, a little bit better than Fatal Push, but still god-awful, and this high sideboard against Beloit Control. We've already talked about the 6th most popular deck, which is Mono Red Aggro. We sideboard the same as Gruul Aggro, which brings us to the 7th most popular deck, which is the Mirror Match. In the Mirror Match, we like Cut Down. It beats everything but the 4 mana spells. Similar thing with Anoint with Affliction. You know, if we're able to kill the early creatures, then they can't ninjutsu, which is awesome. Dokuchi Silencer for a similar reason, and then Shieldred because the deck just draws so many cards. There's no specific card that is like ridiculous in this deck though. So I like cutting the Thoughtseizes because they're kind of a liability. I like cutting the Spell Pierce. Again, there's not a lot of non-creature spells that we really care about. And then because it's another black deck that is going to be sideboarding in a lot of removal against me, Thousand Face Shadow is pretty medium. And so this is how I sideboard against the Dimir Aggro, excuse me, can talk, which is the mirror match. The 8th most popular deck is 5-color Idiomatic Incarnation. Against this deck, we're bringing in Spell Pierce. If we can pick off very specific, relevant non-creature spells, we can just win the game. Similar thing with Disdainful Stroke. Biting Palm Ninja is excellent, being able to tear apart our opponent's hand. And then we're bringing out the Fatal Pushes because it doesn't really kill anything of note, and we're just hoping our deck does the thing. That's how I sideboard against Idiomatic Incarnation. The 9th most popular deck is Jund Sacrifice. Against Jund Sac, we love Leyline of the Void. Turns off a lot of their deck and makes it so they can't combo us. Big fan of Anoint with Affliction. Being able to pick off a cat's kind of cute, but also dealing with Mayhem Devil and Blood Tithe Harvester we love as well. Gonna be siding out of Spell Pierce and these X1s that are really hard to turn on. Remember, there's still a red-black deck, so they draw a lot of cards. Shaving on Floodpits Drowner because not a lot of stuff to tap down. So that's how I'm gonna sideboard against Jund Sac. And the 10th most popular deck is Mardu Greasefang. Again, Mardu Greasefang. We're bringing in Anoint with Affliction to be able to break up the combo. And then similar thing with Leyline of the Void. It's a little hard for us to turn on Fatal Push to break up the combo, so I'm actually not really down with that. Spell Pierce doesn't really matter, and then we're just going to shave a Spyglass Siren. This is how I sideboard against Mardu Greasefang. There's how to sideboard with the Dimir Aggro deck in Pioneer against the top 10 most popular decks in Pioneer. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.